The Sith acolyte and later Jedi weapon of Starkiller was hugely significant to him. Starkiller, over the course of his history, wielded 3 different lightsabers. The first, which took him many years to construct under the tutelage of Lord Vader, a red lightsaber. With an exposed crystal, the lightsaber was unrefined and yet extremely powerful. It was a raw weapon, yet it fulfilled its purpose perfectly, symbolic of the very character of Galen Marek himself. The last we learn of the story of the true Galen Marek, he is killed by Darth Sidious on the first Death Star, once refusing to strike down Darth Vader in anger, and later refusing to strike down Darth Sidious himself. In this moment, Sidious unleashes all of his Force lightning on the senators present, as well as Starkiller's friend, the Jedi Rom Koda, attempting to disintegrate them utterly. In a last-ditch effort to save his friends, Starkiller jumped in front of them, using his hands to absorb all of the Force lightning propelled at him by the Emperor, feeling all of the Emperor's malice and hatred. This allowed the senators and Rom Koda valuable time to escape and establish the rebellion. However, in the end, the Emperor's attack would prove fatal to Galen Marek. But following this, what exactly happened to Starkiller's lightsaber, and what significance does it have in the larger lore? Well, today, students and acolytes of the Force, we hope to answer that, as well as go over the history of Galen Marek's 3 separate lightsabers, what each one meant to him at the time, and why they were so significant to his journey as a Sith acolyte into a fledgling warrior of the rebellion and warrior of the light. The first lightsaber that Galen Marek constructed under the tutelage of Darth Vader was created with very raw and basic materials, with Vader gifting him a red synthetic crystal. Starkiller took it upon himself to stare into the blade deeply every single night, attempting to reach full meditation, and attempting to feel the dark side as potently as possible, with this red crystal symbolizing his own connection to the dark. This would be the lightsaber that Galen Marek would use for much of his youth, as a weapon to enact Vader's rage and hatred across the galaxy, and to be trained in secret beneath the very nose of Lord Sidious. Galen Marek would use this lightsaber to kill notable Jedi such as Shaak Ti, as well as defeat and subsequently blind the Jedi Master Rom Koda. However, upon realizing that Darth Vader was attempting and planning to overthrow him, Sidious ordered Vader to eliminate his apprentice. In a desperate ruse to put the worries of Darth Sidious at ease, Vader seemingly betrayed Starkiller, murdering him above his starship. After Darth Vader used his own lightsaber to impale his apprentice through the torso, he then used the Force to fling the young man out of the viewport into the very vacuum of the black space itself. However, Galen Marek's body would soon be recovered by Darth Vader, as the Sith Lord would attempt to explain himself. But still, this is the final fate of Galen Marek's red lightsaber, and a turning point for the character of Starkiller overall. According to the novelization for The Force Unleashed, the Galen Marek's red lightsaber was lost to space, and therefore his nightly rituals of staring into the crimson, blood-bathed blade disappeared along with the weapon. Following Darth Vader's attack, Galen Marek's red lightsaber would never be seen nor recovered ever again. But this raises the interesting question: if Galen Marek's original red lightsaber was lost to space after the attack on Vader, what lightsaber did Starkiller use following? And what lightsaber represented his turn to the light side, but not yet his full embrace of it? Upon Darth Vader's cruiser, the Sith Lord granted Starkiller another weapon, a weapon that Starkiller realized that he had seen before. When Galen Marek ignited this green lightsaber, the coloration was not red as he had expected. Instead, the room was bathed in emerald, with a green blade protruding from the hilt. Galen Marek then realized the lightsaber in his possession belonged to none other than Jedi Master Rom Koda, the same Jedi which Galen Marek had proved his allegiance to Vader by seemingly and believing that he had killed him. Vader, it is revealed, all along kept Rom Koda's lightsaber for potentially this very moment, as he gave his apprentice a new task, a task to create a rebellion against Darth Sidious, in hopes that a rebellion would distract him and weaken his empire, so that together Starkiller and Vader could strike. In the novelization for The Force Unleashed, something peculiar happens here with Starkiller and this green lightsaber, as he describes the weapon as feeling very comfortable in his hand, surprisingly so. This surprises Galen Marek so much because he has pledged his whole life to the dark side, and believed that this was the only path, with the lightsaber and its coloration being symbolic symbolic of this path. Galen Marek even notes that he believes that the green lightsaber and him are one, and that he feels exceedingly powerful with it. However, again, this would not be the final lightsaber that he would use to confront Darth Vader on the Death Star. Sometime later, after Galen Marek has now fully embraced the light side of the Force, him and Rom Koda ventured to the world of Kashyyyk, a world where he was raised on, but at the time Galen Marek was unaware of it, and unaware of the fact that his mother and his father had died on this world as well, with his father being killed at the very hand of Lord Vader. While exploring Kashyyyk, Galen Marek felt a strong pull to an abandoned hut, a hut which Rom Koda warned him about entering. As he inched closer, a vision of the Force was granted to Galen Marek, as he saw a Jedi with a blue lightsaber facing down a figure that he knew well, the figure being Lord Vader. He saw the brave Jedi attempt to strike down the Dark Lord, but it meaning very little to Darth Vader, who used the Force to fling the young Jedi within his home, shattering his lightsaber and the lightsaber crystal held within as a result. Galen Marek then watched Darth Vader butcher his father, as in the background, a young Galen watched. Coming back into the present, Galen Marek saw a flicker of a blue crystal beneath him. However, it was not a full kyber crystal, but it was the crystal that had once laid within his father's blue blade. Claiming the crystal as his own, he and Koda eventually departed the world of Kashyyyk. Back in space, Galen attempted to undertake the same ritual that he had done time and time again every night with his red lightsaber, this time peering into the green blade of his brand new weapon, a weapon that although he sensed he was powerful with, that it still ultimately belonged to Rom Koda. However, it would not always be aligned with Koda. In a moment of pure clarity, Galen Marek felt the full embrace of the light side. Using the Force to dismantle Ram Koda's lightsaber, he implemented pieces of the blue crystal into the green lightsaber crystal as well, melding the two together but tuning the blade to show up blue in coloration. Galen Marek felt it was important to maintain pieces of the green crystal, as this symbolized his journey as a fledgling light side wielder. But now, the old Jedi, paired with Galen Marek's own father's crystal, resulted in this blue blade. A blue blade that for the first time in his entire life truly represented and belonged to Starkiller. It would be this blue lightsaber that completely was aligned and attuned to Galen Marek, representing his past as well as his light side future, that he would march into battle carrying against the Dark Lord of the Sith and his former tormentor in Lord Vader, and the same lightsaber that he would ultimately defeat Lord Vader with, and yet refused to strike him down out of anger. The cycle of dark side apprentices becoming complete, and Galen Marek passing the test that Anakin Skywalker never did. However, following Galen Marek's death at the hands of the Emperor, and yet the escape of his friends, and the birth of the rebellion, Darth Sidious scolds his apprentice in Darth Vader for believing that Starkiller was fully aligned with him, and believing that he could ever train an apprentice underneath him. In this moment, Darth Sidious stomps off in a rage. However, he is confident that the rebels will soon be destroyed, and his reign as Emperor and Sith Master are now fully secured. Darth Vader, however, lingers behind a moment, sitting in his complete and utter failure. In a moment of hatred, and perhaps even embarrassment, Vader took the heel of his boot and smashed Galen Marek's Jedi weapon, a weapon which Darth Vader again considered fully now a Jedi lightsaber. Unfortunately, this is the end of Galen Marek's Jedi weapon, and the end of the story of 3 separate lightsabers that Starkiller wielded over the course of his journey. However, it did not represent the end of the rebellion, nor the Jedi, as Galen Marek sparked, and by giving his life, he gave new light and birth to a rebellion that would one day create Luke Skywalker, and a rebellion that would see the complete and total annihilation of Vader as well as Sidious, with Galen Marek being remembered as a hero and the creator of the rebellion. But anyway, my friends, what are your thoughts on this tale? What are your thoughts on what happened to Galen Marek Starkiller's lightsaber following his death? What are your thoughts on the evolution of Starkiller and Galen Marek as a character, and how this is symbolized through the course of the various lightsabers that he wields? Do you enjoy more videos about Galen Marek, and would you like to see more videos based on the novelization for The Force Unleashed? As always, my friends, thank you so much for watching the channel. May the Force be with you, and I hope that you have a great day.